Should you buy Exposure's Diablo Mark 12 helmet light, or is it just overpriced? My name's Guy Kestevan. I've been a professional mountain bike and kit reviewer for nearly 25 years, and this video is brought to you by Giro Cycling, PT's Products and Crud Mud Protection. So that's why it gets a product placement banner on it. It's nothing to do with Exposure, having paid for the video, as you might guess from this review. So this is the Exposure Diablo Mark 12. Exposure been around running lights for years. Sub-company of USE, very early days UK CNC manufacturer. But it was their lights that really caught on, because they've always had really innovative features. And there's no change with this light. It's 1800 lumens. It's a 3.5k milliamp battery. But that gives you just a runtime of just over an hour. That's averaged out, cold conditions, normal riding. So I do tend to find on a lengthier ride, even though it's got a bunch of different settings, you can see laser etched onto the back of there, I like to team it with a piggyback battery, which gives me 50% more battery life. But at 215 quid just for the light alone, that's getting seriously expensive. And if you compare it to other brands, I mean, if you compare it to Lesign, an 1800 lumen light costs you 160 quid. 160 quid with Magic Shine gets you 3000 lumens. I mean, not quite 3000's in their words. I'd say 2.5 on the trail. But you can get a light like a Bontrager 1300 for about 100 quid. And I don't think you'd really tell much difference between the actual output on the trail. So why would you want to buy one of these? Well, it has got some fancy features. Like I say, it's beautifully made, all CNC machined and anodized, comes in this gunmetal, comes in black and comes in oil slick. It's got a nice little stainless steel button on the back there, and it's, if you pop that off, it's got a little connector, which is called the Smart Port, actually gold plated. That's how bougie this light is. And if you're lucky and you get the little rubber plug in first time, people with exposures will know that this is just one of the things that might test your patience with it, but it's been behaved there. It's really well put together. You get factory support from from Exposure at most UK races with any kind of night element, or even enduros as well. They turn up to a whole bunch of events, and you get factory direct support from them. But the reason most people buy this light is because this helmet light is just fantastic. It's super simple. It's just an upper and lower disc with a polythene snapping bolt in the middle, so if you crash onto the helmet with the light on, it's not going to do you a Schumacher. And the light just clips in like that. It's really secure. It's fully adjustable. You can put it in any vent on the helmet, so it's pretty much universally compatible. It comes with a neat little lanyard to stop you losing your massive investment in illumination. And if you want to use it on the bar, although it is a fairly focused, obviously because it's a helmet light, if you want to use it on a focus, obviously because it is a helmet light, it's a fairly focused beam. But if you do want to use it in the bar, they put a little bar mount, just simple O-ring bar mount in there as well. And it's okay. I mean, there is a Zenith now, which is 265 quid and 2000 lumens, and that has a wider beam. So that's slightly more versatile, but again, only an hour runtime. I'd say general reliability is good on an Exposure. You will always get it to work, but you sometimes have to fight with the little features on it, and just even things like the turn-on sequence. I don't always get it right if I get the double click wrong, or sometimes it's just not interested. So you have to have a bit of patience with the turn-on sequence, and unless you buy the sync version, which gives you a Bluetooth link for 265 quid, the only sign you've got of your remaining runtime is whether your mates tell you when that light changes colour as it runs out of charge, or there's a flash just before it goes out, which is, well, pretty much too late. So in terms of communication, not great. There's no wireless remote option. As you can see, there is a flash option. And also, while it does have what Exposure call a tap mode change option, you have to select it from the menus, which means you hit the light or you hit the helmet, and that lowers the brightness, so you don't have to fish around on the back for that little light switch there, which obviously in winter gloves can be a bit of a hard thing to find. excuse the pun, but I find that is a bit hit and miss. And certainly in the more sensitive and even the medium mode, you can accidentally trigger that and turn the light down just when you don't want it to, by going off a drop or taking a heavy hit. And just the vibration through your head will actually turn the light into a lower setting. So again, not ideal in a light that's costing over 200 quid, but against that, the actual factory support from Exposure, the lights are made in the UK, and they attend a whole load of events, not just nocturnal events, but also like enduros and stuff like that. And the guys are always super helpful if you're on site and want to try the lights, or if you just, you've got a problem with yours when you need it most, then that is obviously a big bonus. And if you're inclined to support a UK company, then, that's why this kind of tech and this kind of development, I mean, you could pretty much credit them with pushing the whole self-contained light mountain bike concept with the early Max D and things like that. And now more and more lights are moving towards that. Or you could just say, in terms of power and in terms of runtime, it's a very, very expensive torch. But at the end of the day, the reason it's kind of my default light is purely that helmet mount. It is so good. It's so much better than the Velcro clip-on stuff. That just always seems to be a bit of a fight. And there's also it tends to move around and shake a lot, especially if you've got like a light designed to be on a handlebar. So at the end of the day, you've just got to decide whether you're going to use those smart functions, whether you want to support an innovative UK company, or you just want to go for the cheapest power to price options out there, which are significantly better value in terms of simple power. But anyway, massive thanks to Exposure for supplying the lights to test. Thanks very much to my Patreon supporters who pledge on a monthly basis, and they get extended, exclusive, and behind-the-scenes edits ad-free as a thank you. So if you really like what I'm doing with the channel, please consider supporting me on Patreon with a small monthly donation. But subscribe, click for notifications so you know when I'm testing other items, such as Exposure's Monster Handlebar Light, which is obviously the ideal partner in night riding crime to this Diablo. And just give the video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it and tell your mates about it. I hope to try and use my experience and my insight to help you guys buy the right kind of equipment and give you a better biking life at the end of the day. So hopefully that's something you enjoy. I certainly enjoy speaking to you guys in the comments. So if you've got any questions, light it up in there. But for now, I've been Guy Kestevan on Guy Kes TV, talking about Exposure's Diablo Mark 12. Thank you very much.